the Mark Tully? Yes, his full name was Sir William Mark Tully, born on 24th October 1935. He is the former bureau chief of BBC at New Delhi, a position he held for 20 years. He worked with BBC for a total of 30 years before resigning in July 1994. The recipient of several awards, Tully has authored 9 books. He is the member of the Oriental Club also. Yes. So you can see the picture of Mark Tully here. We will get the brief information about Mark Tully. When did he born? He born on 24th October 1935. His age was 85 and he lived in Tollygunge, Kolkata, formerly named as Calcutta, Bengal Residency, British India. Okay? And he completed his education in Marlborough College, Trinity Hall, Cambridge. Yes, his degree he completed in this Cambridge College. Now coming towards his occupation. What was his occupation? He was a journalist. He was a writer. Yes, journalist in the sense who gives information or who explores the information in the media, news. Those are called as journalists. Okay. Tully was born in Tollygunge, India. His father was a British businessman who was a partner in one of the leading managing agencies of the British Raj. He spent the first decade of his childhood in India, although without being allowed to socialize with Indian people. At the age of 4, he was sent to the British boarding school in Darjeeling before going to England for further schooling. From the age of 9, there he was educated at Tyford School, Hampshire, Marlborough College, and at Trinity Hall, Cambridge, where he studied theology. Okay? After Cambridge, Tully intended becoming a priest in the Church of England, but abandoned the vocation after just 2 terms at Lincoln Theological College, admitted later that he had doubts about trusting his sexuality to behave as a Christian priest. His personal life has been complex. In 2001, he married Margaret, by whom he had 4 children, and when in London, he lived with his wife. When in India, however, he lives with his partner, Gillian Wright. This was all about his personal life. Now coming to his journalistic career. Tully joined in the BBC in 1964 and moved back to India in 1965 to work as a Corporations India correspondent. He covered all the major incidents in South Asia during his tenure, ranging from Indo-Pakistan conflicts, Bhopal gas tragedy, Operation Blue Star, and the subsequent assassinations of Indira Gandhi, anti-Sikh riots, assassination of Rajiv Gandhi, to the demolition of Babri Masjid. He was barred from entering India during emergency in 1975 to 77, when Prime Minister Mrs. Gandhi had imposed censorship curbs on the media. Tully resigned from the BBC in July 1994 after an argument with John Burt, then Director General. He accused Burt of running the corporation by fear and turning the BBC into the secretive monolith with poor ratings and a demoralized staff. In 1994, he presented an episode of BBC's Great Railway Journeys, Karachi to Khyber Pass, traveling by train across Pakistan. Since 1994, he has been working as a freelance journalist and broadcaster based in New Delhi. He was the regular presenter of the weekly BBC Radio 4 program Something Understood until the BBC announced its cessation in 2019. As a guest of Bangalore Initiative for Religious Dialogue on 7th October 2010, he spoke on how certain should we be. The problem of religious pluralism. He described his experiences and the fact that India had historically become home to all the world's major religions. He said that had taught him that there are many ways to God. Tully is a patron of the British branch of Child in Need India, CINI UK. Tully is equally well versed in English and Hindi. He had contributed his heartfelt efforts to keep literature alive, and he been key speaker among 50 speakers of Second Kalinga Literary Festival on 17th May 2015, where he explored the role of literature in nation building. This was all about his works. How did he build up his career? Now coming to the awards and honors which Tully got. Tully was made an officer of the Order of the British Empire in 1985 and was awarded the Padma Shri in 1992. He was knighted in the New Year Honors 2002, receiving a KBE, and in 2005 he received the Padma Bhushan BAFTA in 1985 for lifelong achievement. He was conferred the coveted Red Ink Lifetime Achievement Award of the Mumbai Press Club. Now coming towards his some important books. Tully's first book of India, Amritsar, Mrs. Gandhi's Last Battle, 1985, was co-authored with his colleague at BBC Delhi, Satish Jacob. The book dealt with the events leading up to the Operation Blue Star, Indian military action carried out between 1 and 8 June 1984 to remove militant religious leader Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale and his followers from the buildings of the Harmandir Sahib Golden Temple complex in Amritsar, Punjab. This was the first book of Mark Tully, India's Amritsar book. It was written by two authors, Mark Tully himself and Satish Jacob, who was his partner in BBC. Okay, his next book was Raj to Rajiv, 40 Years of Indian Independence, was written with Zarir Masani and was based on the BBC radio series of the same name in the US. This book was published under the title 40 Years of Independence. Tully's No Full Stops in India, 1988, a collection of journalistic essays was published in the US as The Defeat of Congressman. The Independent wrote that Tully's profound knowledge and sympathy unravels a few of the more bewildering and enchanting mysteries of the subcontinent. And the last work of Tully was the fiction, The Heart of India, was published in 1995. Fiction in the sense it was made as a film also. Okay. His latest book, Upcountry Tales, Once Upon a Time in the Heart of India in 2017, is also a collection of short stories set in rural North India. These all are the works of Mark Tully, my dear friends. So, these are the wonderful works of Mark Tully, and you can see the picture of Mark Tully here. He is one of the famous writer and journalist even in today's time also. He had written many wonderful works, and even today we follow him. And he is very good at both English and Hindi, my dear friends. I hope you have understood about the Mark Tully.